For most of human history, the outer planets were really just these tiny, fuzzy dots of light in our best telescopes. But then, in the latter half of the 20th century, we did something incredible. We sent out robotic explorers on what we called a grand tour. So come on, let's see our solar system in a way no one ever had before, through the actual eyes of the probes that went there. So let's set the stage. What did we actually think we'd find out there so incredibly far from the sun? Well, the general idea was kind of boring, honestly. We pictured a bunch of cold, quiet, geologically dead worlds. Frozen, covered in craters, and pretty much unchanging for billions of years. Turns out, we were in for some pretty big surprises. And this was one of the very first. Now, that's not a smudge on the lens or some weird camera glitch. That is a volcano. A massive active volcano blasting a plume hundreds of kilometers into space from Jupiter's moon Io. With just this one single picture, our entire idea of a quiet outer solar system was just shattered. Okay, so our first stop is the king itself, the giant of the solar system, Jupiter. But as we got closer, we started to realize something. We weren't just visiting a planet. We were flying into a whole miniature solar system, just packed with its own incredible diversity and wild extremes. First off, you just have to wrap your head around the scale of this place. Jupiter isn't just big, it's a true giant. Think about this. It has more than double the mass of all the other planets in our solar system combined. It's so big, it doesn't just orbit the sun, it actually makes the sun wobble a little bit. And when you get up close, just look at the details here. Jupiter's atmosphere is this canvas of unbelievable violence. These aren't just clouds like we have on Earth. They are storms bigger than our entire planet, with winds screaming around at hundreds of kilometers an hour. It is a place of just incredible raw power. But as magnificent as the planet itself is, the things that really blew our minds, the discoveries that truly forced us to rewrite the textbooks, they were found circling around it. The moons of Jupiter turned out to be these completely unique worlds. And this just shows you the incredible variety. On the left, you've got Io, the most volcanically active body in the entire solar system, constantly paving over its own surface with fresh lava. And on the right, that's Callisto. It's a geologically silent world with a surface that's one of the oldest and most heavily cratered we've ever seen. 2 moons, same planet, and they could not be more different. And then there's this one, Europa. Just look at that surface. It's a shell of water ice, sure, but it's crisscrossed by all these long, dark cracks. So what could possibly cause that? Well, the leading theory is that this ice shell is actually floating on a huge global ocean of liquid salt water. An ocean we can't see, but one that might just be one of the most promising places to look for life beyond Earth. All right, leaving the Jovian system behind, our journey takes us onward to maybe the most recognizable and beloved planet in the night sky, the ringed jewel, Saturn. For generations, Saturn was this beautiful icon in a textbook, but images like this, they changed everything. It stopped being just some abstract object, and it became a real place, a world of these subtle, gorgeous colors, casting this immense shadow across its own breathtaking rings. From here on Earth, they look solid, don't they? Like a giant, solid cosmic record spinning around the planet. But what are they really? Could they actually be a single, solid thing? Well, the answer, as we found out by getting up close, was so much more intricate and, well, beautiful. Yeah, they're not solid at all. This incredible close-up shot shows the truth. The rings are made of billions upon billions of tiny, individual particles of water ice, and every single one is in its own orbit. And they range in size from little specks of dust to chunks as big as a mountain, all forming this vast, glittering disk. And even inside this giant swarm of ice, there's all this unexpected complexity. Our probes found these bizarre, ghostly spokes that would just appear and then vanish within hours. And these intricate little waves, created by the gravitational tug of tiny moons that are actually orbiting inside the rings themselves. It's a living, breathing, dynamic system. So now we push even further out, way out, to the edge of the planetary system. We're heading into the cold, dark frontier, home to the 2 mysterious ice giants, Uranus and Neptune. Even out here, so far from the sun, the surprises just kept coming. This is Miranda, a tiny little moon of Uranus. But look at it. Its surface is one of the weirdest things we've ever seen. It's like a jumble of totally different terrains all stitched together. It's got these huge canyons right next to grooved regions that almost look like a racetrack. One of the leading theories is that Miranda actually got shattered by a huge impact a long time ago and then just sort of clumsily pulled itself back together. And finally, our last stop on this planetary tour, the deep, rich blue world of Neptune. It just looks so serene, doesn't it? A calm, beautiful blue ball just hanging there in the blackness of space. But that appearance is incredibly deceiving. By taking pictures one after another and tracking the movement of these bright white clouds, scientists made an absolutely startling discovery. Even though it's the farthest planet from the sun's heat, Neptune has the fastest, most violent winds in the entire solar system. We're talking supersonic speeds, over 2,000 kilometers per hour. Just unbelievable. So after this incredible journey, what was the takeaway? Well, in just a handful of years, our entire picture of the solar system had been turned upside down. The cold, dead, quiet place we thought was out there was gone, and in its place was a completely new vision. We went out there looking for quiet, frozen worlds, and instead, we found fire. Hundreds of active volcanoes erupting on a moon of Jupiter. We thought everything that far out would be frozen solid. Instead, we found incredible evidence for a huge, liquid water ocean hidden right under Europa's icy shell. We expected to see simple, solid structures, but what we found in Saturn's rings was this amazingly complex system of individual particles, all caught in a delicate gravitational dance. Way out, in the coldest, darkest part of the solar system, we didn't find stillness. No. We found the fastest winds anywhere, just raging across the face of Neptune. As our robotic explorers looked back one last time, they showed us a solar system that wasn't a collection of static, boring points of light. It's a neighborhood of dynamic, diverse, and just stunningly beautiful worlds, and every single one has its own story. The Grand Tour really did change everything. It showed us a solar system that was more active, more varied, and more surprising than anyone had ever dared to dream. And it leaves us with the most exciting question of all. If this is what we found on our first real trip out there, what other wonders are still waiting for us to discover next?